Good day, and welcome to Far Reaches. We are four people from similar parts of the world who have wound up chasing different dreams and living different lives. We are Richard, Raleigh, Joel, and Micah. Richard and Micah are from Southeast Oregon, from two small ranching communities known as Pine Creek and Plush. Raleigh and Joel are from Northeast Oregon, from the Pendleton area. We met through college, mutual friends, and heard of stories of each other. Somehow wound up being at the same place at the same time. See, we live and work in different parts of the U.S. now and have all taken different paths to get to where we are. We all talk separately and live far apart. So we decided we should try and talk more together. We hope you come along and enjoy. We are live. Hey, your mom and them. Welcome to the Far Reaches podcast. Thank you once again for joining us. I'm Micah. That is Mr. Joel. We are two of the four reachers. Raleigh is probably climbing into Baylor right about now to fix some hay. Richard, we have no idea where Richard is. He's battling a Facebook group somewhere, I believe. So we're going to let him do that for a while because he's good at it and he really enjoys it. So, we'll start off with us. This week, and as in every week, we are brought to you by our extremely good and generous friends at B&K Auto Salvage in the beautiful Grand Ronde Valley. That's LeGrand and Baker City, two locations. Make sure if you're shopping there, use promo code Malarkey. That's right, promo code Malarkey. You're going to get a discount on what you buy. And if you're selling the scrap, and we've had some reachers do this too, you're going to get an extra price. You're going to get a bump in the rates. So if you happen to sell some scrap and buy stuff, you would get it literally both ways. So how could you go wrong with that? And I think since we started, and Rich probably saw it on Facebook Live, Mr. Bradbury is joining us now, hopefully through the magic of satellite communication. Look at that. He's talking to his broker or something. Yeah. Sell. Well, no, everybody's selling. Well, then buy. So he will be joining us soon. Joel, good day, sir. How have you been, man? It's been a couple weeks since we all got together.
Yeah, have I even done this since I've been back to Pendleton for the second stint here?
Let me think.
Did you know?
I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
Time runs together
It does.
real tightly.
It's spooky how it does that too.
I've been good. I've been playing golf. It's sort of taking a break. Played in the PGA or not PGA.
Congratulations! Yeah.
They had the club championship this last weekend.
Oh, cool.
And I was down to a 14 handicap, but then I shot a 101, 105.
That'll drag it up a little bit, but not too bad. It's kind of like your GPA.
16 now. Yeah. But I did win 4 skins. So that's how inconsistent I am at golf. I'm good enough to win 4 skins.
But 4 skin. Sorry.
So I was doing that. I went downtown today to get my hats tuned up for Roundup.
Nice. Outstanding. Get a little clean, a little shape.
Just the shape. Got the and then I didn't realize how many different options are on hat, because Brian went down to get a new hat. And then one of the Knowles kids came in and he knew exactly what he wanted his hat to do.
Mm-hmm.
And then so what I did was the middle at the top that kind of indents.
Mm-hmm.
In the front, push that down a little bit so it's not so tall. Looks a lot better.
Good.
That's on the felt one. The straw one just needed to be straightened out. I wasn't ever sure because sometimes I think it's my face that's crooked because my sunglasses are always crooked too.
Oh, gotcha.
So I don't know if it's my hat or my face, but either way,
just cock a little bit to the angle, get some attitude in it. You're good to go.
Yeah, I've been having a pretty good time in Pendleton. Did some bar trivia last night.
At Max?
Yeah, now at 40 Taps.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I've not been there in a while, but nice place.
Yeah, they got a good thing going down there. Been going there a lot. So let's by the way, Perk got attacked at the Rainbow last week.
Say what?
He was just telling us a story that he just got attacked at the Rainbow. by a couple girls like who mistook him for somebody else, and they charged him.
So not attacked in a good way is what you're saying.
Yeah, so I think there's a couple girls got kicked out of the rainbow for life.
Oh, kids, 86th day.
But there's been like a fairly trashy crowd hanging out in the rainbow a lot lately, and so to get away from them, just go to 40 taps.
It's a cycle. Yeah. It's a cycle. Well, I got text Rawls. Rawls is trying to get the code, and so if people are seeing me, like, picture the screen. I'm not taking a shot. Like, Joel, you're looking good tonight. Yeah, I'm trying to get the code for Raleigh. Not to say you're not looking good, but
I wonder if it's one of those scenarios when you look around the rainbow and you don't see any trashy people. It's because you're the trashy person.
It could be. Yes, that is common. That's probably, I think, probably on a sign somewhere in the rainbow. Actually, if you look around and don't see anybody trashy, it's probably you.
Yeah.
I'd go with that too. Well, dang, poor Pert. That's probably not exactly what he had in mind. Getting attacked by a couple women, but I'm glad they got that straightened out. So,
yeah, I want to hear more about that story.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Pendleton's just getting ready for Roundup.
It's beginning to look a lot like Roundup.
Yeah, there's already quite a lot of people in town.
The patented upside down Raleigh phone's going well too. Raleigh's in Australia, farming down under. I love it.
Am I upside down on your screen?
You are, yes.
Yeah. This rat bastard of a phone.
I didn't realize you're an Australian farmer. That's cool.
Yeah, well, everything's upside down on my phone for some reason. I don't know why.
I don't remember how you guys fixed it last time, because when we were at birthday dinner, it was that way for a long time, and then the wife did something and fixed it. So,
well, what kind of phone are you on, Raleigh? Do you have an iPhone?
Yeah, he does.
So if you swipe down on it, there's a rotation lock.
There you go. You got it. You had it.
A little circle with a lock in the middle of it. If you push that, it'll keep your. It's complicated. It's hard to
riveting shit. And and Richard being dyslexic, does it look right for him? I wonder. I don't know. Inquiring minds want to know.
I'll just for Richard's sake, I'll hold it upside down.
There you go.
Yeah.
See if that does it. It'll probably spin it upside down again. Yeah.
It's like how Richard down. Right before the podcast sends out a flurry of text messages to rile us up before we get on.
Yeah, random directions, sort of somewhat cryptic in nature, definitely inflammatory, some might say. And that's perfect. So we'll let him that Rawls. Yeah, I don't know, Rawls, what to tell you, but you're still upside down, but we're just glad to have you here. So it's golden.
Is that better?
Nope, it was close. I don't know what happened with the like.
Hey, you got it. Yeah,
you did it. There you go.
Horizontal.
It's perfect.
Apparently, I have to hold it sideways.
There, that's what she said. Yeah. Scored early and often. That's perfect right there. Nice looking hay. Look at Joel. Joel, you don't appreciate that's what she said as near as much as I do you?
No, I don't. I think I just got overused.
Definitely
that's
what she said.
Point.
I know poor Hendricks, by the end of Roundup, he's on the edge because Jenny, his lovely wife, she is definitely the queen of that's what she said. And so we've just abbreviated it TWSS if we're like texting. And, he doesn't find it near as entertaining as we do, but that usually doesn't slow us down either. Poor bastard. Yeah. So we try to keep it to a minimum, but sometimes you got to pick it up. You can't let it rest. So
I played golf with Kurt both days or at the club championship.
Oh, cool.
And I noticed something about him that I think probably most parents do. They don't realize they're doing it. Is so he had a picture of his baby, Emma, and she's like learning how to crawl or something. And it's always like, oh boy, here we go. Now it's getting real. Like, every parent makes that joke, don't they?
Yeah. It's beautiful, though. It's so beautiful to see that.
I promise if I ever end up having a kid, I will not make that joke.
I'll hold you to it.
Dude, I'll give you $1,000 if I make that joke.
Oh, cool. Now I have a goal. Yeah. 2 goals, actually. Yeah. Oh, Rolls, you got a reach around for us?
Not really. Just trying to get this hay put up, and it's not dry. And smokier than I'll get out again. Richard's sending yeah, it's horrible, and it just hay doesn't dry worth a darn. So we got rain coming Friday, so chances are what was going to be pretty nice hay is going to be feeder hay. So yeah, other than that, just trying to get cattle off of ground that they need to come off of and get them positioned to come in and start weaning calves at the end of the month. And
holy buckets,
not a whole lot. Just I'm sure I'm missing a lot of details, but yeah, nothing major. So
just life, eh?
Yeah, no, it just nothing. The wheels just keep turning, and you try to keep up with them.
Rinse, lather, repeat. That is the way of the rancher. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
I can even see in your shot there on your phone, it's pretty smoky across the valley.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's not
super
as bad
craptacular.
It's not as bad as it has been through the summer, but it just, when you can't get any of that direct radiant heat, stuff doesn't dry out very well. It just kind of has a sultry feeling almost. So, but
did you say it's sultry feeling? Is that what the words you just said?
Yeah, the air does. It feels kind of sultry with the smoke hanging in here.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So
cool.
Yeah. No, other than that, that's about all I got for a reach around for you.
I did some cowboy work this weekend. I moved. I used my pickup to move a horse trailer.
Hey, now.
First time I've pulled a horse trailer before.
Maiden voyage. Outstanding, good sir.
Didn't go great. I had to pull it through a pretty narrow gate. And
is the gate wider now?
Well, it would have been if I wasn't paying attention to my mirrors.
Good man.
I stopped it in time, and then I had to have Casey fix it.
Oh, gosh! Yeah. For a second there, I was bought a trailer for his horse.
No, he didn't.
It for him.
Now and then I'm gonna.
Oh Jesus!
I'm going to pull a float in the parade on Saturday with my pickup.
Oh kids! That's official time right there.
Yeah, I think the swim team. I don't know if it's been announced yet, but the swim team's going to have a float this year, guys.
Outstanding. So. And piloting will be Mr. Joel. Yeah.
Yep.
That's some high-speed operation there. So I'm proud. And we use the mirrors on not turning shit out of the gate too. That's good.
When I was coming back out of the gate, and as I was paying attention to where I was exiting on the left, I didn't want to run into the fence post, and I completely neglected the right, and I think I missed it by about that much, about 1 inch, taking off my mirror. I'm not very good at driving. I'm getting better at parking it.
Pick something. Work exactly. These are all good things. Yeah. Yeah. Pick something and work on it. Yeah, I remember I taught one of my marketing people one time how to back up a trailer with the 2 of the jelly things at breakfast one morning, because she just couldn't understand why you had to turn it the opposite direction. I'm like, well, you're not really going the opposite direction. It's just see how look at it from above. And she's like, oh, I get it now. So yeah, the jellies talking to each other. So we'll find you a way. Yes.
Yeah, so I've been up to a lot.
Sounds like it. It's impressive. Rawls, any more reaching around?
Not particularly. No, I just keep my head above water right now. It's just a busy time of the year.
Indeed. Yeah. It's summer's winding down and all the chaos that goes with finishing that up.
Are you coming to town next week?
Who?
Probably.
Me?
We might have to neck dart him or something. Yeah.
No.
No.
No. I've been to enough of those roundups.
Okay. Balls. We'll talk him into it. We'll neck dart him. He'll wake up there like Mr. T did on the A-team. Pity the fool that wakes me up on an LBR. It'll be Rawls.
It'll be the first time I woke up in the LBR.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Richard, can you hear us? Can you give us a reach around?
I don't know. When was the last time I was on one of these?
A few weeks.
Yeah. It's been a weird couple for us. Richard got sick and I got whatever he had. And of course, the COVID tests don't work. So we don't know if it was COVID or what it was, but they sure enjoyed shoving the thing up my nose to see.
Oh, yes.
Nothing like getting a Q-tip to the back of your cranium. So I've been having some, I'm not 100% recovered, right, but I've been having a lot of cognitive problems, and that's why I haven't been on for a while. And short-term memory loss and this, and some of the physical stuff's getting better, but anyways, been a little struggle. And today we have a giant new fire, and yeah, it's just
sounds spectacular.
That's about 6 miles from my cattle. I can't even really drive yet. I shouldn't be driving, but so a lot of stress.
We won't tell anybody if you do.
Well, yeah, but anyways, I'm probably not gonna be able to contribute that much, but yeah, just don't really have much good to report. The roundup went really well. I didn't make it out there, but yeah. So
saw some good pictures. The parade, and R3 was running around, whooping it up. It looked pretty well. So
yeah. So I apologize for everybody if I'm not my normal self. But
well, Richard and normal don't often collide. B, even if you're running at 10%, you're still running laps around most people, so it's still good. And C, I'll try not to make fun of you, but I can't guarantee anything, but I will try to keep in mind. So I apologize in advance.
So your COVID test came back negative. Are you going to go in and
no
do an antibody test?
Now the internet's not working very good.
It's awesome.
So the thing with the Delta variant is the traditional. Oh Jesus! The traditional. You guys are gonna have to bear with me. The Alpha COVID out, the original COVID strain, you can't test with the COVID.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't test the same. So you actually have to tell. You can tell if it's a COVID, but you can't tell what type of COVID it is. So you have to actually have it sent away to get the genome sequenced to see what variant of the COVID it is. The doctor that was working with me said she had COVID and they had to test her. They were 100% positive that she had COVID, but they did 3 tests and they all came back false negatives. So it was only until the 4th one, and then they did some further tests so anybody that tells you the test works is full of crap. And
yeah,
I've been really discouraged because most of my symptoms are long haul COVID symptoms. So we don't know what it is. It could be a number of things, but that's one of the things we're exploring. And this whole thing is just such a complete and utter collapse of science and politics. It's just so much BS. It's they don't have a freaking clue what's going on. And if it gets in your brain, if it gets in your brain, would you go lie down? It can get through your blood-brain barrier, and they don't have any clue what to do with it. Whether it's just so all these assholes that think that are telling you that they got it, they don't have an effing clue. So, and I've ran into a buddy at breakfast one day over Roundup. I don't know, I see him about 2 times a year. He got it in Arizona on a hunting trip and was in the hospital for 3 days, and he hasn't got right yet. And then I've heard several other people in feedlots in Idaho. The guy's a bookkeeper for him. Same thing happened to him that happened to me. He hasn't recovered yet. But honestly, everybody's saying that they have a clue what's going on. They don't. And then I just text you guys in the group thing that they're pretty sure it's completely vaccine resistant. So I'm personally happy that I'm sure that I got COVID twice now, and I'm happy that I don't. I think that's probably set me up better than any of the vaccines ever would. Mm-hmm. So even with this setback, I don't think that it would have helped. And I think I don't know, it's just it's discouraging that we're where we're at now, because I don't think it's necessary. I think there's smart people that are getting censored that could helping this situation out. And I think we've completely tipped it over, and we're actually progressively and actively making it worse. And it sounds like tomorrow that Biden will be shutting down interstate travel for those of us that are not vaccinated. So
that'll be interesting.
There's going to be a 6-point plan that comes out tomorrow as to how they're going to deal with the unvaccinated in the United States. So
those lowly lepers. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah. It'll really be super fun to see how that tips. I'm really worried about the Pendleton round. I think they're going to screw you guys at the last minute.
There's a distinct possibility. Yeah. Because so, yeah, that's why.
They don't. I'm not wishing it, but
well, if you don't think there's a chance,
screw it over by not allowing people to come in from out of state, or
shut it down.
No, they can't shut it down at this point. I guess they could.
Yeah, but it is the People's Republic of Oregon.
I don't think they should. I think people should just do it. I hope that Pendleton just goes forth and does it, but
yeah, because to my knowledge, nobody's going house to house and forcing people at gunpoint to go to Roundup. I think it's still voluntary. So, as within most travel, at least at this point, tomorrow that might change. But nobody's really been forced to go anywhere or do anything in that regard. So, yes, I am being sarcastic as shit right now, because it's about choice, as it has been since day one. Choice, freedom thereof. But
I feel like the Biden administration would love to come and get your governor and hang him in the tallest tree in Florida if they could.
Oh, absolutely. Florida and Texas, especially Florida, though. Ron is, he just tells him to pound sand left, right, and center, and say what you will. Every time they print a fake story about Florida, it eventually gets corrected, but it's always page 95, third column. But when you look and compare, and we're just diving right in, I suppose, but compare Florida to what they're doing in Australia. Like, Australia's just going ape shit, and like their numbers are still going like this, and they're basically everybody's on house arrest. So what does that tell you?
Did you see the video of them beating the girl that went shopping without a passport in France?
I didn't see that. I saw them protesting that.
Full on Rodney King beating with batons. 6 men beating on a girl that wasn't vaccinated, and her friend who was trying to stop them from beating her.
Man, from 2 weeks to slow the spread to papers, please. Like, and That's no shit.
Yeah.
Like seriously.
I don't know. Of course, I don't get to sit and pay attention to a lot of this very often, but based on everything I hear and everybody I talk to, we're about as close to complete civil unrest as we've been since the Civil War. Am I wrong?
It appears so. Just
I think there's still too many people out there with something to lose. If you start taking away everything that they have to lose, then you'd cross a line, right?
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I agree with you, Riley. I think they're pushing people about as far as I think they can be pushed.
It's not just this Rona stuff too. We were talking in our group text earlier about, the video of California and Larry Elder's guy who's kind of on the recall thing. People come up and like throwing eggs at him and dressed in a gorilla suit and like just extremely violent towards the black gubernatorial candidate. Like it just absolutely unhinged. And it's like, what's wrong with you people? Like, I have to point it out, like, if the roles were reversed, they'd instantly be arrested for hate crimes. But be like, who behaves like that? Like, I don't care if you like somebody's politics or not, but like physically assaulting somebody, seriously, like completely unhinged. And, refusing to schedule Candace Owens for a COVID test in a lab because they don't like the politics. Like, and I was in Colorado. Like they were dumb enough to even email her and say that in the thing. Like, given your politics, we're not going to schedule we're canceling your appointment, given your politics. And, that's becoming everywhere. And Richard mentioned too about censoring people you don't agree with.
Yeah, you have to imagine that in like, I don't know, 30, 40 years when history looks back at this time and how they'll write about it, all the mistakes that have been made.
I sure hope.
There's some of those. I
would love to believe in journalism and people writing about the truth, but everything's been skewed generation after generation on so many levels. I think. I mean, we can go find literature on 10 different ways that the World War II went.
That's right. Because now the Holocaust didn't happen now, apparently. So
it just, I mean, there's you want to believe people are going to be honest about, but I guess it comes down to people just speaking their own truth, and how they want people to remember it. People are, I don't know. There's just such a skewed view of what goes on in the world. My opinion.
Yeah, it's bad that half the country has completely lost trust in our institutions, like our health institutions, and Fauci proven to have been lying in front of Congress. And it's too bad. It's like, well, you don't even have to speculate. There's going to be no repercussions for him lying at all. I thought that's illegal. Isn't that illegal?
It is. Yeah. People have been in prison for it. Yeah. People have their door kicked in at 6 o'clock in the morning with a SWAT team for that. Just saying, Yeah,
unless I know something. Again, I think I mentioned this last time. It's like now the Mu variant that Richard sent, that like the early alarmist reports are that it's resistant to vaccines and prior infections. Like what if they know that this is just going to get, because it's some sort of thing they created and it's just going to get worse and worse, and so they just don't even care. They're throwing kitchen sink at it to try to take care of it and violate every one of our rights along the way.
I think that's what you mentioned last time. There was like
the really crazy thing is,
go ahead, Richard.
Last week they were talking about not vaccinating kids. I said last week they were talking about not vaccinating kids, and now they're talking about vaccinating kids. And one thing we do know is it's extremely harmful to people under 18. they're more successful than myocarditis and all that kind of stuff. So I know that it's probably coming to Oregon. So as a parent, that gives me a lot of pause and stress because I remember during smallpox here in rural Oregon with the Indians hid their kids in caves so they couldn't take them to the Indian schools at the time that they had, because they would let the kids go to the Indian schools and they'd die of smallpox. And so parents hid their kids in caves and would sneak out in the night and take them food and water. And some of them were up there for like 4 to 6 months. And that's horrifying to me to think that that's where we're at. And
it seems to be tracking that way. Yeah.
I cannot even imagine getting excited about exposing my 3-year-old to a vaccine that nobody's collecting the data on the adverse effects. There's some counts that think it might be the most deadly virus we've ever let loose on a population of people. So, and I think it gets worse as you get younger. So it's quite a dilemma. And I think that our natural immunity was probably always the best defense. And the vaccine was probably good for the older cohort of people, but probably anybody 60 and below should have relied on their natural immune system unless they had aggravating that would put them at a higher risk category. But for somebody that's relatively healthy, it shouldn't have been pushed like it is. And I think it's probably just creating. I saw a chart of the variants, and when I'm talking about this stuff, this is all with the except of the Mu virus. I didn't have time to look to see if it was a peer-reviewed study, but I'm pretty sure it was. It came out a pretty reliable medical platform. But I saw another thing. If you watch the tree of the variants, it's absolutely incredible how many times it's mutated. And there's the Mu, I think, is the big one. That's the one coming out of South Africa. And then the one that starts with I is it's been around long enough that they're starting to check, but it seems to be mostly resistant to the virus also.
Remember when they were like, I still don't know that much about viruses, but at the beginning, one of the things you always heard is like when viruses mutate, they usually do so in a manner to become, weaker. But like it's not happening with this one. It doesn't seem like. It seems like every time there's a mutation, it's like this one's even worse than Delta. It's like something's wrong here.
Yes. Yeah. It definitely leads you to think that highly manufactured, and we're definitely not being told all there is to be told, What the hell was that? Big Daddy fall down?
It was a dog anticipating their return. I'm going to have to go on mute because they're going to come in like banshees.
Okay. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. No, it's I think it can spin you out if you think about it too much. You don't want to just like deny and not pay attention also, but like if you just like think about a person who would like watch the news first thing in the morning and then read Twitter all day long and then watch the evening news and read the paper, like you're probably huddled up in your closet chewing on your fingernails. I mean, like, think about that. Like just the shit that you would see and be pounded with, it'd be crazy. Richard, did you freeze or can you hear us? Richard's froze. Joel's on mute. Raleigh's looking at hay. We lost Richard.
We got Caleb. Caleb joined us.
Oh, good day, sir. Look at that little face.
Micah says hi. You can say hi if you want. No, you don't need the earphones to say hi.
You can say hello.
Say hi in the microphone.
Yeah, that one right there.
Hi.
So look at me, Ma.
Yeah, needed a little youth in here to liven things up.
Yeah, the next generation.
Pretty depressing.
I know we were spiraling quickly. Yeah.
Talking about the apocalypse.
Turns out, yeah, that's what I was like. If you think about this all the time, you're gonna go guano.
You're having one of our
Yeah.
Hello, Law Dog.
I think they went to dinner. They're returning from dinner.
Oh, outstanding.
It hears you.
Yeah, they can hear you still.
They can hear you, even if you whisper.
Really?
It's like super magic. Still hear you. Oh, I need to get my reach around, I guess. And work's been going great. A lot of crazy stuff. A bit of a victory today, if you will. I worked from home. I had some exterminators coming, so I was able to work from home and be here when they got here. But it poured down rain this afternoon, like 1.5 inches in like an hour. And it rained so much that it drove this big old nasty black snake I've been tracking up on my back porch. So I was able to figure out where he was at, get my pellet gun, and disperse with him with extreme prejudice. And so I don't even know what kind of snake it is. It's about 5 foot long or so, black and evil looking. It's been returned to whence it came, which is hell. And everything's happier here now. So yeah. But that'll wake you right up when you're just wandering out to take a look at the rain, and then it's slowly just ninjing underneath the screen door into the porch area. Yeah. Son of a bocce. So that's the second one I've killed since I've lived here. I don't know if they were related or brothers or not, whatever, but they're both gone now. So
I'll look it up to find out what kind of snake it was.
It makes me pretty happy. Yeah. So, but they're super wicked fast too. Yeah, like beyond ninja quick. So it's it'll make you pee a little bit. So that's all gone.
Southern black racer.
There you go.
I think this might be what it was. It was all black, right?
Yeah, it had some color on the side, but more like grayish black. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, 4 to 5 foot long, probably. So it's
45 feet long,
huh?
45 feet long?
4 to 5, maybe. It seemed like 45 foot long when you're battling it with a pitchfork, like I did the first
North
one.
American, non-venomous. I mean, it is not full of poison.
Yeah. Still, it is deed because it was in my sector. So yeah. It was good. Yeah, I just don't like them. Sorry, that's fine. Yeah, I don't like how they move. I don't like how they look at you. Some of them are good. I'm sure they kill squirrels and shit or whatever, but that's fine. But like, yeah, this is a snake-free zone as long as I have my way. So that's all I have to say about that. But yeah, it's been good raining. Work's been fun. All kinds of crazy shit going on. So part's been bueno. So I missed Lake County Roundup. That sucked, but just didn't fit the schedule, and it's good. I had some stuff happen at work that I really, really, really am glad I was here for. So it would have been really crappy to me to be in Oregon when some of this stuff was happening. So turns out it was the right thing, but still sucked to miss it. But anyways, let's skip on over to the old entertainment spotlight. Raleigh, for those of you who were playing along in the home game, a few weeks ago, Raleigh suggested we look at the good old Top Gun. Which I think is like 80. Gosh, what year was that? Let me pull up my good friends at IMDb. Not that it really matters what year. 1986. So, Kenny Loggins soundtrack, Tom Cruise, Val Kilmer, all the guys. And I think the new one was supposed to be coming out this last summer, I believe, but it was delayed probably.
It was originally supposed to come out in 2019. They had it finished.
Mm-hmm.
I think around Christmas, if I remember correctly.
And then,
the most recent, it's been delayed once, and then it got delayed. It was going to come out in November And then they just recently pushed it back to May 2022.
Oh, dirtbags.
Yeah. I was just talking about a guy in that movie. His name is Miles Teller. I don't know if you've seen him in other movies, but
oh yeah, Miles Teller's in new Top Gun.
Yeah, he's like Miles Teller is probably my favorite actor. But I bet he's just been waiting around for 3 years because that movie's going to make him like a superstar probably.
He's like trust me, it's going to be awesome. Yeah, like
yeah, it's just kind of fucking up his career a little bit.
Yeah, he's probably got a whole bunch of stuff. He's like, man, I don't want to do any more movies because I can get a lot more money on the next one because I'll be Top Gun superhero. But until then, I'm just this guy. Right. Yeah. Kind of like McConaughey, or like I'm sure a lot of actors go through that too. They do 2 or 3 movies back to back, and then one of them just blows up, and you're like, "Oh crap! I can't believe I did these other crappy movies in the meantime, the interim." I was trying to combine interim and meantime together, and that doesn't work in my brain.
Never works. Never works doing that.
Turns out, no, yeah. So, did anybody watch it again? Richard, did you watch Top Gun?
You're on mute.
You're on mute, and in the delay, you look like Churchill sitting there doing something. Yeah. Can you hear us now?
I just watched it, but I have 2 really good Top Gun. I didn't have a chance to watch it, but I have 2 really good Top Gun stories when we're done analyzing it.
Oh, well, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to analyze that movie. Again, it's another movie with a lot of homosexual undertones, though, right? You guys love picking those movies.
We're comfortable in our manhood. Absolutely.
My cousin Billy,
go ahead, Richard.
Billy Miles is a general. My cousin Billy Miles is a general in the. I think he's a general now.
Jeez.
In the Marines, and he's a Marine fighter pilot. And Top Gun was his inspiration for joining Marines and becoming a pilot. And we couldn't be more proud of him. He's amazing. But I went to his pinning, and he had to go through all the regular things Marines and Marine officers have to go through, and he opted out of the officer basic training and did the regular grunt basic training. And he worked his way up. They gave him a list of things that he'd have to accomplish, like get a physics degree, X amount of flight time, and become a pilot. And he got to the point where it was time for him, and he did all the Marine leadership and qualification stuff. Got to the point where it was time for him to get into the flight school, and they turned him down. They told him he was more valuable as an officer in the infantry, but ever since he jumped through all the hoops that they told him he'd have to jump through. And so his father was one of the very first people in the Army Air Force in World War II and Korean War. And he knew all old guard. And they flew back to Quantico or Gitmo. Which one? Yeah. Where's the one? I always get confused. Where's the Marine based out of Quantico, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Talked to the head guy in charge of the thing, and just a weird universe. His last name was Fitzgerald, and we were distantly related. So they laid out my cousin Billy's case, and he agreed that Billy had, in fact, went through his. I should call him Bill. He's a full-grown man.
Still Billy, yeah.
Had in fact done everything they asked him to, and agreed to let him into flight school. Since then, he's become highly decorated and just been a badass. He was a squadron leader in Japan when that crazy loon from North Korea was launching.
Oh yeah,
missiles. Yeah. So really early in Iraq and Afghanistan. I don't know if he ever ended up in Afghanistan. A lot of stuff he can't talk about.
Sure. He's been badass at whatever he did, though.
Yeah, and he's now in charge of the couple squadrons in San Diego at Miramar.
Oh, so outstanding.
That's how that'll be how he finishes out his career. He also wrote the manual. They got him a master's degree, and the Army paid for him to have a master's degree, and I don't know what, but the Marines did, and he helped write the manual for the Joint Strike Fighter. But
oh wow,
the funny part about this is he when he got pinned, the people that got pinned with him were from Princeton and Yale, Texas A&M, Cornell. He was the only one from a land grant school. He was the only one that graduated from Northern Arizona State University. The rest of them were all top tier Ivy League kids. And
you said Texas A&M. That's not a good one.
Texas A&M?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
That's not even as good as Oregon State, I don't think.
Oh, now geez. My sister has to come in and straighten it out since she's an Aggie.
Stands for A&M stands for Agriculture and Mechanics.
Yeah.
I don't know
shop
who's more
workers.
formidable, me or my sister. I'll tell her she'll be on the podcast.
It'll be fun. It'll be fun. Yeah.
Right. Making more enemies.
Awesome. Yeah. Basically, most everybody I know in Texas right now is probably screaming at you, but it's still fun. So, because I was laughing. Yeah.
Yeah. The media likes to paint Texas A&M like some sort of weird, but it's probably one of the best science schools in the United States.
Scientifically, yes. Absolutely. Yeah. The point being,
if they believed in science,
it was all stacked against him. Billy kicked their ass, is what the point is. They believe in science.
The Top Gun tie into that is his mother had to buy him 3 different VHS tapes of Top Gun. He watched, I don't know how many hundreds of times he watched it, but it was a lot.
They were wore out. Yeah.
So that's why I love Top Gun, because it was the inspiration behind my cousin's. We couldn't be more proud of him. He's an amazing individual.
Yeah, he's really cool. And still just a hell of a good guy, too.
Yeah, he's all right.
Yeah. No. But, that's what some of the criticism was of Top Gun, that it was basically, a $40 million recruiting video, because it probably really was, but as soon as you start hearing that soundtrack at the beginning, you're like, I know exactly what's going on, and I've watched all the behind the scenes on the Top Guns and how they changed it around. And to Joel's point, they added the locker room scenes because, like, hey, we have all these hot guys. We got to have something that shows off their bodies a little bit more. So there's the volleyball scene and, the locker room scenes.
Remember how sweaty Val Kilmer was, and Tom Cruise were in that scene in the locker room? Just dripping water.
Like a copper tone ad, basically.
It's supposed to dry off a little bit before you leave the showers, guys. Fucking idiots.
You don't get that glistening body if you just dry off like a normal person before you walk to your locker. So
it's the army. The army forgot to teach people how to dry off after a shower.
Or that would be the Navy guys there. Yeah, but just saying.
I know. I'm just saying generically. Army,
generically, like the military. Just say the military.
From a guy who's never done anything to serve it. It's kind of funny.
Worked up a sweat with, but yeah,
just to call it army.
That's even funnier. But I think it just makes you proud. And I'm sure there's got to be a ton of stories about people that joined up because they'd watched Top Gun too. Same kind of thing. Which I think is kind of cool to have that proud of what they go do and be inspired to go do something different, to think Billy coming from L-Town, and being able to do what he gets to do and be very, very good at something that not very many people even get a chance to try, let alone excel at. So I think that part's really cool as well. It's a great story just beyond that. So I don't know. I didn't get a chance to ask Raleigh why he picked it per se. I think other than because he thought it was cool. So which what are the reasons you really need, so I think that's the major part of it. Easy, Super Hound. But yeah, we've all watched it dozens of times, and we still will do it again. And I can't wait to watch the new one comes out as well. I think that's going to be awesome to see how they reframe it and how they tip their hats at the old one or the first one, if you will. If there's going to be some Ghost Rider references, or there's going to be. Richard, do you know if there's any Tom Cruise appearances or anybody like that in the new one? Are there going to be an instructor or anything like that?
Oh, Tom Cruise is in it.
Oh, he is. It's been so long since I saw the trailer. I don't remember at all.
He is actually mentoring Goose's baby, or full grown
ass man. Yeah.
I can't remember if it's son or daughter, but so there's a Goose tie in there, which Anthony Edwards' short performance in that is way underrated.
I totally agree.
But yeah,
he's still talking about Top Gun.
He's back.
Yeah.
He's back teaching Top Gun. He's teaching Top Gun, and he's got Goose's. I can't remember if it's the daughter or the son. Probably the daughter in our new folk area.
Mm-hmm.
So, unless we established in the Top Gun that it was a boy, I don't remember what the child ended up being.
I don't think you even found out. But yeah, I didn't remember, Joel, if Tom Cruise is in this one or if anybody from the old one was going to be in it. So I'd seen the trailer, but it's been a couple of years. So
yeah, Tom Cruise is in Top Gun. Yeah, I've seen that movie so many times, and I was just thinking here, like, what was who were they fighting? Why were they fighting people with jets?
Oh, like, there was just
after that movie comes out, you think like our military is always doing dogfights in the middle of the ocean, but I'm sure that rarely ever happens outside of war, right?
Yeah, somebody was flexing their muscles and kind of overlapping in an international space, basically, is what they were doing, and kind of be a dick.
Was it supposed to be the Russians or the Soviets or whatever?
I think it was the Russians. I think it was one of those to be named later Middle Eastern countries, because they were flying MiGs. So it could have been Russians, but I think it was of Middle Eastern origin, I believe. Like what most of the movies back then were, the Russians or Middle East. So
yeah.
Because then you have the great spoof to with Charlie Sheen. I can't think of the name of it off the top of my head.
Hot Shots. That's gonna be my
prediction.
It's gonna be my entertainment spotlight.
Oh, that's awesome. Richard, what'd you say? Your internet's shit tonight.
I have one prediction for the movie.
Okay.
I bet that it will show just how much more advanced our fighter planes are than the Chinese awesome planes.
Yes.
Actually, that's a really good point, because how they make movies to kind of suck up to the Chinese these days.
Seems to be.
Satisfy them so it'll play well in their movie theaters. I wonder if a movie like Top Gun, which I wonder if they'll try to do that, try to kiss ass to the Chinese.
Do you think that's why they've delayed it? They've been recutting it?
Ooh, good conspiracy.
I'm predicting it's going to be a glorious FU to the Chinese.
I hope so. Screw everybody. That's what our job is. Piss off the world. So let's get back to that, shall we?
Yeah, those are fun years.
I love the point that these are.
What was that?
I said I love the fact that everybody's saying that the Chinese Navy is better than the U.S. Navy.
Oh, really?
They have like.
Oh, well.
Yeah, they have like three.
What is that?
3 or 6 carriers. We have 12.
Yeah. I think that ties a lot in with our modern take on training and personnel compared to the rest of the world. So while we're talking about how to love everybody, they're still training how to go fuck somebody up. So I think that's where a lot of it comes from. Just saying. Yeah.
it's crap.
I keep going on mute because I heard a lady scream in the background earlier.
I think that was R3.
I heard that.
No. I think that's Casa de Bradburn.
I was watching a horror movie.
So we're going to skip around. Joel, you said you had your entertainment spotlight ready, so let's make sure we get that out and about and discussed while we can.
Yeah, I was just, you sprung on me last moment that I'm in charge this week.
It's the same order every time, though.
Gosh, I'd like to do something more interesting. I was going to say hot shots, just to stick with the theme. Hit them all. We already had Iron Eagle and Top Gun. Guess we do Iron Eagle 2.
No, we are not doing Iron Eagle 2.
But hot shots, I don't know. I might watch that again in my spare time. But I'm going to go with that. Like we were discussing earlier, I'm going to go with Shane Gillis.
Ah, yes.
He's a stand-up comedian, and his new special just came out on YouTube today.
Oh, cool.
So you can watch it for free on YouTube. Shane Gillis
special on YouTube. Awesome.
People who don't know, Shane Gillis was the guy about a year or probably more than that, about right before COVID happened. He got hired for the new season of SNL. And this guy's like a legit comedian. He's a stand-up. And he didn't have any like acting chops, but he tried out for it and got it as an actor, not just a writer on the show. And then he had been doing a podcast for quite a few years, several years, and immediately, the fucking internet sleuths went through and found him saying something derogatory about Asians, and so after like 2 or 3 days of heat from the media, he got fired from SNL. And then he was on Rogan recently talking about the fallout from that.
I need to check that out.
How that all went down.
So what was he was telling comedy, wasn't he? Or wasn't he just like being I doubt he was just like specifically being mean.
Well, it was a comedy podcast.
So
I think what those guys do in their excuses, they're always trying to make jokes and try to make people laugh. And a lot of times they fail. This was one that, if given the benefit of the doubt, he was trying to be funny. It failed. It sounded kind of mean. But I don't know. It's not anything you've never heard before. It was just cliche.
Yeah.
I think he mimicked like a stereotypical Asian voice or something. But I don't know. He got kicked off, and then his life fell apart for several weeks.
Naturally, yeah.
But what's always there when that happens, those guys, is the stand in New York is going to let you up. He got up on stage that night that he got fired.
Oh wow.
The comedy clubs don't give a shit. They'll let you on. You can have a career in stand-up. So now I think it worked out good for him. He was doing his own like skit videos and everybody should look up OnlyFans Dad with Shane Gillis.
That just sounds entertaining as hell.
One of the funniest skits I've ever seen. So he's doing well. He's got a new special out.
I'm going to sidetrack off of that though. So yeah, Shane Gillis new special YouTube, which is awesome. But we see this all the time where somebody said something 5, 6, 8, 10 years ago, and people go back and then they get drugged through the mud and ruined for something that so let's assume it was in poor taste. Like people say dumb shit from time to time. Like we're all guilty of that. But be like, where's the limit, dude? Like seriously, like thinking about they had the guy they picked to be the new host on Jeopardy, whatever his name is. Who cares? I didn't like him. No, like Mike something or other. He was like the producer, yeah. And so, but they found a podcast he was on 8 or 10 years ago, and he said something quote unquote derogatory. He's no longer going to be the host of Jeopardy. And you're like, we've talked about Kevin Hart had said something and or tweeted a bad joke like 8 years ago. Like, when is enough of enough on that stuff? I mean, it just blows my mind that's what the main thing people do now is just go dig back through everything you ever said and find one thing and be like, Yep, you're mean, you're evil. I'm like, well, yeah, I'm probably mean sometimes. I've said stupid things. I've said things I've regretted, no doubt. But like, we all move on. Like, I mean, what is this? I just can't comprehend it.
I think kind of if you join the right team at this point and you're all in on their team, they'll let it slide. They're gonna let us, like, for example, I've been watching Cheers. Me and Brian have been watching that the last couple of nights.
Awesome.
That show would never be allowed.
No.
There was one episode where Sam was trying to sleep with Rebecca. And because she had been having sex dreams about him. And so they had this idea, like, be there when she wakes up. So he's trying to get her to go to sleep. And there's a scene where he's like choosing between two different medications that make you go to sleep. He was like literally on TV, he was talking about drugging.
Yeah. Drugging her to make her go to sleep.
Yeah. It's a very rapey show.
Yes.
It would never be allowed on. No. Sam is very rapey. But that actor, Ted Danson, he's full blown on that team. So he's like beloved by, he's in that show, The Afterlife. And they love that show. Yeah. He's like a darling of the left, so he's fine.
Yeah, that's what you scratch your head. You're like, it's like, and how can you be held accountable for something that was completely within bounds then? And as we've changed, now you're held to that standard based on today. Like, that's completely, like, from a legal standpoint, like, that's completely ape shit. But like you said, I think it depends on which team you're swinging for. But like, like Ricky Gervais and some people, like even Rogan, are like, go pound sand. Like, and Bill Burr, I think that's why I like Bill Burr so much, even before. But he'll flat tell him to go pound sand, and he's pretty lefty on some still things. But I think it's just they're killing comedy is one of my points too.
Yeah, they're trying really hard to attack comedy. You got Jimmy Kimmel is another guy that's full blown lefty, right?
Oh, geez, and rice, yeah.
And he had some pretty offensive shit on the Man Show, and then he had the blackface dressed as Karl Malone.
Yeah.
But they get away with it. Like, somebody will bring it up. It's these things have been brought up. Like Ted Danson put on blackface.
Yeah.
When he was like roasting Whoopi Goldberg, because I think they were like married for a brief period.
They were, or dated or married, one of the two. Yeah.
But yeah, I think like the right kind of tries to go after him about the hypocrisy of it all, but it just never goes anywhere. And rightly so, it shouldn't.
I completely agree. Like,
but they need to fucking stop doing that stuff too.
Yeah. Yeah, it's statute of limitations of some point, or like, just okay, it was funny then, it's not now. Like, like one of the staples we had on pretty much every bus trip was these little paperback books called Truly Tasteless Jokes. And you probably can't even find it in print anymore, but it literally had sections, Polak jokes, Mexican jokes, like, it was just sectioned off like that. And we would sit on the bus and read them and die laughing.
You didn't really know why you're laughing. Like, you didn't know why Polish jokes are funny.
Because, well, yeah, you did. Because, like, that was a whole section. Like, Polacks
but you didn't know
dumb.
any
Like,
Polish people.
Yeah, we did.
It's like Jewish jokes. When you're growing up in Eastern Oregon, you hear like Jewish jokes, but you've never met a fucking Jew in your life.
Well, not like a Hasidic Jew or something like that, probably. But yeah, but like Mexican jokes or any ethnic, everybody. Wasp, they had wasp jokes. Like, I know, like, what the hell's a wasp? Oh, okay, white people. But yeah, like, it was funny. Like, you just laughed. And yeah, I didn't have, to my knowledge, a pure Polish friend. But like, like, I doubt you could even find that book now. And that was like every bus trip we were on. At least one of those was running around, maybe two. Just read it out loud and laugh, So I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying it was funny then.
Where were you going on the bus all the time?
Well, like, usually like wrestling trips, football trips. You had to go on a bus pretty much anywhere to go do any sport. So
you footballed and wrestled?
Yes, sir.
Nice.
Yeah. So
what kind of football do they play down there? Is it like was it full blown 12-man football?
Do we have 12 man? Yeah, I think so. But a lot of you played both sides. Yeah. So, and not that way.
Just like real life for you guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Richard's thinking out loud, but
he's sons of bitches. Yeah. He's just
Who was your quarterback?
Oh shit, I don't remember. Yeah. It was
what position did you play?
We weren't very good at football.
You played linebacker and
as right guard and linebacker. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I liked wrestling a lot more because if we lost, it was my fault. That's why. So but yeah, bus trips. I mean, we took a lot of field trips and shit too because it was a ways to go for anything. But yeah, that was just almost everybody had one of those books, and you trade them around, and yeah. So it's sure they're offensive. That doesn't mean it's not funny though. Like seriously.
First boobs I ever saw in real life were on a bus trip.
Wow.
Yeah.
Somebody flashed the bus, or was it on the bus?
No, just me, because they knew that I had never seen boobs before. And there's a girl on the bus willing to show me her boobs.
Outstanding. Now Richard's off mute. Look at he wants to talk now.
What are the first boobs you guys ever saw? Please share.
That's what I was going to say. Our reading section.
What?
Your what?
Boobies?
Yeah, look at now Raleigh's coming back on. Heard about boobies. Yeah. So
something he can contribute to.
Yeah. I want to say we entertained ourselves on bus trips by reading Penthouse Forum.
Oh, that'd be good. Yeah. Penthouse Forum. Sweet Lord. That's why it's such good fiction writers come out of Lakeview.
I'm talking about real life boobs, Richard. First real life boob site.
Oh, Jesus.
You don't remember that off the top of your head?
Yeah. Eagleville Barbecue.
Must have been that month. Yeah, probably.
15 years old, Eagleville Barbecue. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I saw boobs standing around a campfire in the middle of somewhere.
Yeah. The ones I remember the best in the first, though, 15 at Eagleville Barbecue. So, but yeah, often, campfire boobs are one thing, but these were different. So,
what was the circumstance? How'd they present themselves?
We're going to stop talking about that now. Yeah. So, Rawls, can you hear us? Raleigh's still driving around looking at hay. I think he's in his pickup now. He's old. So you're on a CV. That's funny. Joel wants to know when you saw your first pair of boobs.
What?
And not like on TV, not like sneaking up to watch Cinemax.
In person.
Every time you see it, it's the new site.
Exactly. You seen one pair? You want to see them all. Yeah.
Every site you see is a new sighting. So, I mean, yeah. Wow. I don't know if I can pinpoint an actual when. Like it, elk hunting, you see a nice rack, and then you see another nice rack, and pretty soon you can't remember what rack you saw.
Just all booby blends together. But something kicked off that whole chain of events.
I tend to categorize the boobs I didn't want to see.
There's a laugh.
Those are usually the ones you see. Was that owl laughing in the background? That's hilarious. Yeah, because I was past 15 then, but I remember when I worked at Safeway as a courtesy clerk, which that's a name unto itself. Yeah, there was this really large, smelly person that came in all the time and always had lots of holes in her shirt, and like there'd just be a nipple like sticking out, and it'd just be like, oh, good Lord. And the cashier would always call me up to help bag all the groceries, and it would just be like, you didn't even know where to look because it was just there, like staring at you. But I was 16 or 17 then, I think. So yeah, those are the ones you didn't want to see.
There's like two phases, there's like two steps to a man's life, like seeing him for the first time, and then you actually get to touch one. And that's a pretty special time in a man's life.
Yeah. 15 years old, Eagleville barbecue.
Two birds with one stone.
Absolutely. Why stop with just looking at them?
Jeez.
Yeah, so.
Jesus, you didn't ease into that at all.
That was a defining moment, and there was no easing about it at all. Yes. So,
gosh.
Yeah, that was quite the summer. That was the old custom hay crew tearing shit up at Eagleville. Yeah. Sue Hill, I apologize still for parking your pickup in the ditch. I didn't park it. Frog did, but yeah. We parked. Sue Hill was working with us, and we were headed back to the barbecue. We dropped somebody off. I think we dropped Sue off at the house, and we were going back to the barbecue, and Frog was driving, and we found a parking spot. We just put the pickup like in this ditch to park it, and the ass end of the pickup was off the ground. I'm like, don't worry, it's 4-wheel drive. It turns out it wasn't. So Arch had to come pull Sue's pickup out in the morning, and she was none too pleased with us. And I don't really blame her, but at the time it was a great idea because we had to get back to the dance. But yeah. Yes, fond hay crew memories. So there could be numerous podcasts just on that alone, but there won't be. Rawls, have you remembered your first pair of boobies yet?
I'm just remembering all the firsts.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
Like first pair, the first whipped cream bikini, the first. Like there's too many firsts.
No such thing.
There was actually a moment when
it's not enough firsts. Right?
Your brother was involved one time, Joel. That a bunch of us had gone to Ukiah to the thicket, and on a random night just to go drink, and then we all decided to go with some folks that we happened to run into there to a hot springs adjacent to Ukiah.
Mm-hmm.
Go sit in the springs, and quite possibly, according to your brother, who is a boob man from the word go,
he is a confirmed boob hound. Yes,
quite possibly one of the nicest sets you'll ever see. And refer back to the first time you saw a set, you always tend to revert to those moments. And so, I can recall that many moments, but that one in particular kind of like, well, we all saw that, and I have to agree with your brother.
Those were nice. Yeah. It's set a standard is what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody's seen a pair that they just recall with fond memories. And
you say memories? Fond memories.
Yeah. Did I say memories? I meant memories.
Hooters. The stores when you hooter hotter than they are now. Yeah. Like it is a bit tit nipply. Yes.
All right, time to name names. No, I'm kidding.
No,
not gonna do that.
We wouldn't do that. We wouldn't do that at all. No, but no, that was Joel. Well, way to steer us from a beginning, sort of just a little bit of a downer reality check, and then we end up talking about
the most positive thing in the world,
boobies. Yeah, and we can speak of it in a mature manner because we're calling them boobies. And so, or I think Raleigh said rack.
What's
cans,
the woke thing that they call them now? Gosh,
who knows?
Well, it's like they call it breastfeeding person. It's like the woke
mom
term. But you can't say they'll say persons with breasts. Just takes a lot of the appeal out of them. You talk about them like that.
Cans. I like the word cans.
Cans. Just call them cans.
Cans.
Thingies.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I'm like, cans is a good word. Memory, whatever. Yeah, I think some of the woke stuff's cracking me up as always. But it's we're going to. I need to talk about B&K one more time, and then we can freestyle it too. Just want to make sure I give them all their credit that's due, because they do support us in this venture. They're always there for us, and I hope you guys support them as well, especially with the updated promo code Malarkey, as Doc Pfister, who is a loyal listener and no time caller, just busted that out a couple weeks ago. Got a great deal on some stuff he was buying. I know our good friend Derry Mary was using that code, I think, for some scrap as well. So getting that boost in price. So again, we thank all our friends at B&K, Bo and the team. They've been great to us. If you got anything you need scrap wise, or you're looking for parts, make sure you give them a holler and keep that promo code Malarkey ready to go. So I think with that, we're probably going to skip over to the word of the week real quick and then get this thing kind of wrapped up so everybody can get back to their day. But again, word of the week just randomly appears in my spinning word maker thing. And it happens to be LUCID, LUCID. The word of the week is lucid. Anybody take a stab at it?
Yeah, I was going to give Raleigh a chance. He knows
Rawls?
Lucid, somewhat incoherent thought. Lucid thoughts. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It's an interesting word because
I have a sentence I can use it in.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Joe Biden is not lucid.
Yeah.
Ding, ding, ding. We have a winner. Yes. Lucid, clear, readily understood. So, yes, he's not lucid.
But sometimes presented as a good thing. Like if you're in the hospital, like, oh, he's lucid.
Oh, absolutely. Yes. Clear.
What does that mean? What does that version of the word
It's
mean?
good. Richard said he is not lucid. So he's obviously not clear and not easily understood. So
I see.
Lucid is clear and easily understood or readily understood. But as anybody has seen any of the speaking engagements that this Biden dude has, he is clearly not lucid at all. I would be what I would call the antithesis of lucid, if you will. So
I was thinking like if you're merely just lucid, that's not a good thing.
Just lucid? I suppose it depends on where you came from before that.
Okay. It's always a good thing to be lucid.
Yes, I would think so. Yes. In my humble opinion. Yeah. So yes, which we occasionally are, but yes, I think Richard hit it on the head why I was laughing so much about what the word of the week came up to be, because the Biden person is not, and it's more and more apparent every single day or every single time that they speak. So I'm just saying.
Joe Biden's going to have a hell of a time trying to remember his 6-point plan tomorrow. Also, that's too many points to remember for him.
And I'm sure they'll get the statement too. Yeah, they told me to leave after this, so I got to go now. So whoever they are, I think
it's a 6-day reveal. He's going to release one
every day. There
day.
You go. Maybe they get it out to one per month, and we'll be all right. So
remember that when that other guy, the rich private equity guy that ran for president, Romney, or no, it was the first Texas guy. Who was that guy?
Ross Perot.
No, that ran against like Obama. What was his name? And nobody knows, but
I know.
He had like a 3 or 4 prom. What?
Say again, Richard?
Had like.
I can't think. I can't think of his name right now. He's the Texas. He's Trump's.
No idea.
I think he was a senator. No, he's a governor, I think. before this Abbott guy. Who was the governor before Abbott?
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Yeah. He was giving Trump hell by his small hands, right?
Rick Perry.
Yeah.
Rick Perry. He when he was running for president, I think he had like a 3 or 4 pronged approach. Remember when he famously during a presidential debate, he couldn't recall like the 4th prong.
Oh, that's funny. It's there. Yeah. Trust me. Yeah, it's coming up. Yeah.
That was his Howard Dean moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. They don't have those anymore. That you can't fuck up that badly anymore to where they're just like, you can't be president now. Now
apparently,
they like it more.
Keep on going. Yeah. So perfect. Well, we've been all over the board tonight. I think we've had some good coverage. We've had some good topics again. So we're going to start wrapping this one up if you don't mind, I think. But the entertainment spotlight again is Shane Gillis. Stand Up is on YouTube. So obviously we'll have the link down below. We had some great comments tonight on the live. Party Mom in particular mentioned Archie Bunker and All in the Family. You know, that was a little edgy, was funny then. Made people a little uncomfortable, but was something that everybody watched anyways. And they've actually redone that live once or twice. I think it's actually been pretty interesting to watch that they kept the same scripts and they redid it live. It was pretty cool. So, and then we had somebody also comment about one of our, if you never heard it, you need to track it down, about Rocket 99, which was a world famous radio episode out of Canada. I'll just leave it at that. But that one has been peppered throughout our lexicon, especially in college, the story of the Great White Buffalo. And Travis could tell that better than anybody. But Marty Campbell did a tribute to that one early morning on the Roundup Radio as well. So if you get a chance, look for Rocket 99 on the YouTube. I think you can still find it. So it was some cutting edge stuff. And not everybody finds it funny, but some people certainly still do. So I wanted to pass that along from the some of the comments from the live section. So best thing of the week. You want to have some a little bit of wrap up? Kind of what's on your mind, Joel?
Yeah, I'm just I got a few days of work left before starting a 2-week vacation.
Oh, outstanding.
Roundup and then a bit of a road trip. Gonna do like I was thinking about driving back to New York, but I don't think I need a pickup there, so I think I'm gonna sell it. But before I go, I'm going to drive up through Missoula and up to Glacier National Park and then down to Bozeman and then go into Wyoming.
Oh, come over the Tetons?
Yeah.
Or go to Teton Park. Yeah.
Look at it. Another word for boobs.
Yeah, there you go. Tetons.
And then I think come back through Ketchum, Idaho, and roll back into Pendleton.
That'd be nice.
So it's not the best thing of the week yet, but
it will be.
What I'm looking forward to. Roundup and
awesome.
Bit of a road trip.
Beauty. Mr. Bigsby, can you hear us?
Oh yeah.
What do you got there for us, homeschool?
Oh gosh, I don't know what the best thing of the week's been. Having a day when something doesn't break down. I don't know.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. No. Last week's kind of run into this week, so I don't really can't say what the best thing has been, but it's good to be getting close to being done with hanging and getting that chapter of the year out of the way. So.
Absolutely. Yeah. Big part of the year to move forward from and kind of sets you up for everything else. So
yeah, no, it's nice to have a big part of what brings the dollars in successfully completed for the most part, other than what we may have to run into here over the next 4 or 5 days. But it's a good feeling to have that out of the way. So.
That's awesome. Richard, can you hear me? There you are.
Yeah, I can hear you. Sorry about the bad quality. I think it's quite a bit of internet traffic in Lakeview because of the fire. So, Yeah, I'm not very high on life right now, so I don't really have anything to add. I'd like to think of one good thing, but yeah, life in rural America is pretty shitty right now. So, I don't know what.
But you were sick. While you were sick, did you watch any programs or anything? Binge watch Cheers, that helicopter show you guys all like.
Concentration's a little bit challenged.
Oh yeah.
So, I haven't been able to go back to work. I guess that's good. So
yeah, I think as long as you're still
making improvement. I did watch.
You watched what?
I did watch Worth, which is really Worth on Netflix. It's about the guy that set the payments for the 9/11 families. That's a really good true story.
Oh, interesting.
Oh yeah, has the Beetlejuice guy in it?
Yeah. Yeah. And sadly, I've mostly just been watching Star Trek because I can follow all those movies.
Oh, nice. The movies? Yeah.
Yeah.
Even the old ones, like Con, those, or the new ones?
Yep.
That's awesome. Let's see. I smoked some ribs on my new smoker on Saturday. That was awesome. Yeah, I had ribs and sausage and cheese and all sorts of shit. So everyone's like, Jesus, man, would you cook enough food? I'm like, well, yeah, I like fired up this huge smoker. You're gonna fill it full of junk, and then, you know, I treated myself to a really nice vacuum sealer a while ago. So now I got a freezer full of great smoked meat type products. So when the mood hits, you just take it out and you got ribs or you got brisket or you got whatever. So yeah, I made some queso loco grande, which was basically cream cheese and Mexican cheese and sausage, and threw it on the smoker for a couple hours. So we got a nice smoke flavor to it. And yeah, that stuff, it's pretty universal. So there's that. The last Far Reaches extra we did with Amy and Shandy for those gals going to Mongolia was really fun to do. So if you haven't seen that one yet, go check it out. Also, they got some cool stuff going on. August of next year, they'll be in Mongolia riding crazy little miniature horses over some crazy ground. So 600 and some mile race they're going to go do. So they're getting prepared for that. So it was a real fun to get caught up and see where they're at and how their training's going. And we'll be doing some more of those too. So that was pretty good. It was a nice Labor Day weekend. Yeah. So glorious.
Good.
Yeah. So anybody else have anything for the good of the order?
Nothing for me, Micah.
Damn it, Janet. Well, you know, in that case, we're going to go ahead and wrap this episode up, and thank everybody for watching and playing along. All the comments on Facebook Live, we appreciate that. It's always good to get that interaction. Sometimes I don't get over there as much to go check another screen and see what's going on, but I got a couple chances tonight. So keep those comments coming on that. If you've got movies you think we should go check out, or books or whatever we should talk about, get those into us as well. Yes, Mr. Deegan, Rocket 99, we will try to figure out how to discuss that at some point as well. But yeah, next time is going to be Shane Gillis stand-up. We'll have a link for that in the bottom. And we'll be coming to you next week or so again. So until then, just keep on reaching, and we'll see you all soon.